Today I wanted to talk a bit about why I'm making those kind of video and especially like why in this format, which is like webcam, no cuts, no background music, anything like that. First of all, it's not about like I don't know how to do it. If you look at, I mean, I don't do it, but if you look at some of the old video I did, well, back when I was in high school, I know how to cut, I know how to make music, and I'm probably better at it now than I was then. So it's not really about technical know-how. Like I could do it. I did video editing on like Blender, Movie Maker, iMovie. Very I could do anything very easily. Not is not necessarily easily, but I could do it. But first of all, the first reason is that to remove like any kind of excuse or barrier from me, because quite frankly, I tend to overthink. That was the very first video I posted. That I try to anticipate problem, to overthink, to I'm very much a perfectionist for a lot of things. So I really wanted to be able to have a format that doesn't that is very easy for me to start, very easy to make. I'm not using anything fancy for recording. I'm not just using like what is it called QuickTime Player that just like record from my webcam. The most simple things I could come up with. I use the microphone of the laptop, uh, anything like that. So yeah, that's really removes a lot of the barrier for me. Or I also just overthink it. Think like it reminds me about something that wasn't planned, but it's a very good point. Um, it's it was Naval Ravikant, I think. I hope I pronounced his name correctly. Who was saying that about reading that if you ask what you should read to someone, you are probably not a serious reader, or like you're probably not serious about reading. Because really, um, uh, if you were really serious about reading, you would read. It's very easy to find things to read. You would just pick something and get started. Same thing here for like here it's about video, but it could be about anything. If I started to overthink, for example, which camera I should use, which montage, editing software I should use, which one should I use for to cut, etc. Uh, what kind of music I should use, and like how to make sure that I'm not getting copyright striked, which is like a big issue. But it's typically like you're worrying about getting a copyright strike while you haven't done one video yet, and that's typically the problem I fall into a lot. So I'm very glad. I'm very glad that I'm decided to not bother with it at all, so that I can just get to work and start making things. Also, one goal I have with those video in general, it's a bit like peeking behind the curtain, is that I really want to be better at speaking, uh, especially in English, because it's not my native language. As you might know, by the way, I turn certain phrase or anything like that. I know some people have a worse accent than me, but I really want to improve my flow speaking, the way I can come up with idea on the spot, which has been a struggle for me for a while. Um, so yeah, this is very much mainly the reason I use video as a format instead of writing, which is very comfortable for me. It's to be able to be more spontaneous and be able to talk to you about ideas I have and being able to form them on the spot, which is a bit of a training ground for me. And especially like if I were to, I could think that, for example, I had a awkward moment a few minutes earlier. I thought, oh, okay, I'm gonna cut that. But because I don't have this backup, I'm forced to continue and stop overthinking. And if I stumble upon a phrase, for example, I don't have the possibility to just redo it. I need to move forward. So I think it's a very good, well, that's the idea. That's the idea, and to have a very good training ground for me. Another reason is that basically for this type of format, I was very inspired by a lot of small YouTuber who also record themselves with their webcam and just talk straight to the camera, old school style. Um, and yeah, I follow a lot of them, or just, for example, they will have just gameplay background or very simple background, very little editing. It has been something I followed for like years, very much years before when I first started watching YouTubes typically, and I always gravitate to those profiles because they're often more authentic and they're often more, yeah, they feel more true to themselves, and they are able to express their idea without like without constraining them into like a proper form with like b-roll footage or um, graphic on the screen, or have something very punchy. I don't really want that. I don't want to think about retention graph when I'm trying to make my point across, basically. So I'm very inspired by those people. Like I said, not that there is a lot of them I don't like, for example. That's for other reason that I might go into another day. But yeah, basically, I wanted to imitate them in a way, in my own way, because I'm very frustrated that some of my ideas, the ideas I have, are not expressed anywhere. I mean, I feel very well. That could be another another topic for another day. But basically, I feel often very lonely when with my thoughts. There is like some topic I'm really passionate about, and nobody's talking about them. Not at least not seriously. That's why I have this urge to express myself. I'm doing that for with an art newsletter I'm running, for example. I'm doing that through blog posts I write from time to time, or just publishing posts on the internet. So expressing myself has been is a very important part for me, uh, which I done mostly through text, and I want to train myself to do it through video now. And mostly also to come back to those YouTubers, because they inspire me, I also want to be inspiring for people. Well, modestly, but I feel like having, um, like I said, I have this tendency to feel very alone in my ideas, because I don't align with a lot of people. Most people, I don't align, or I don't. Yeah, I just don't care about the same thing as most people, which is okay. And I don't, and I know I'm not unique in that front. I know I'm not alone. I know there is like other nerds or people who cares about the thing I care about, and therefore, if I never express it, which is whether it's through text or video, or if I never like say things out loud, I'll never find people who think like me. So that's one of the goals as well. It's to find either inspire people to create more, to express themselves more, or just yeah, finding my people, basically, finding people that think like me, or just interested in the same topic as me. And yeah, the other big reason that I'm not making any fancy video with editing background music, cuts, etc. is just that I don't have the time. That's the real reason. I'm so busy with between work, drawing, and writing my weekly newsletter. I just don't have the time, and just living also in general. I don't know how people do that. So yeah, that's the reason.